was a brilliant first day of finals in Jakarta at the World Gymnastics Championships yesterday as Hashimoto Daiki defended his men's all-around crown. And we're hoping for more of the same this afternoon as it's the turn of the women. Just who will follow in the footsteps of these legends of the sport to become the women's all-around champion?
So many famous names. Fabulous start for her.
This was the favourite to be the champion.
Absolutely nailed.
You've just seen history.
I think that's our champion. Her own dynamic start.
She's done it.
She's in another stratosphere. That's how you take the all-round title.
What a way to win a gold medal.
A worthy world champion.
And what a final this could be, and the one guarantee, we will have a new women's all-around world champion with all of the podium from 2 years ago missing in Jakarta. Now 3 times world champion Beth Tweddle and Olympic bronze medalist Sam Oldham are with me once again. Sadly, we're in the studio here in Salford, not out in Jakarta, but we're very excited about the competition that's to come. Beth just saying there, the top 3 missing from the last world, so this one could go anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really open competition. From qualification, there was quite a few falls from all of the top gymnasts, so there's plenty of movement within those positions. But the year after the Olympics is always an interesting one. You get gymnasts retiring, gymnasts taking break, the new crop of seniors coming through. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to today. It literally could go to any of that kind of top 6.
Yeah, and Sam, we spoke yesterday about the Russians back international competition. They're competing as neutral athletes. We're going to see Angelina Melnikova. The last time we saw her was back in 2021. She took the title at the Worlds in the all-around. She got a 3rd at the Olympics as well, but she's now back. You know, it's a long old time she's been away from the international competition. What do you think her preparation is going to be like to get here and to be back, you know, in front of the world again?
Well, that's right, Matt. It's been a long time since we've seen her on the international stage, particularly on the world stage. She competed at the Paris World Cup a few weeks ago, so that would have been a good test. There was a big crowd there. She would have felt that atmosphere of competing against all of those other nations. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how she handles the pressure today, being pushed by the likes of Kalia Namor, the Japanese gymnast who qualified there in 2nd place. So it's going to be very, very exciting. It's very difficult to know how she's going to handle that pressure because we've just not seen her since 2021.
She's 25 as well now, Beth, but highest qualifier. Could she do it?
She was. I think she can. She clearly still loves the sport. She's trained over the past 4 years. She's been competing at home, been out on the World Cup this year. And to be honest, once she's gone back into competition, it's like the last 4 years. She's just been competing the whole time.
We saw Dulcie Kayla and Leanne Wong. They qualified 5th and 9th respectively. Do you think they'll move up the ranks? They were quite disappointed. They said they had a rough qualification. Yeah,
I've seen some of the interviews from a lot of the gymnasts actually after qualification, but they all said it was hard. The equipment was different, and especially on floor and vault, it's taken time to really get used to the timing. So 2 or 3 days later, actually, they've had a bit more training time.
Kalia Namor, she's definitely one to watch. Could make history today for Algeria being the first all-around world medalist for them. She's got an unbelievable bars, and she fell twice, Sam, and still qualified 3rd.
Yeah, I think right now she's probably got the most dominant routine in the whole of gymnastics. The gap between her and the gymnast that qualified in 2nd for the bars is nearly a whole mark. So she has such an advantage when she gets to that apparatus. And for me, it's one of the most exciting routines to watch. I remember watching the Olympics last year, and of all the gymnastics, men's and women's, that was my favourite routine to watch. It was incredible, and I watched her qualification routine, and it just blows my mind how amazing she is on that apparatus. It flows just so nicely. It's incredible.
Well, that will be her 2nd piece. Nice to have that boost halfway around, don't you think? Now, unlike the men, 2 British women have decided to compete in the all-around competition, and we're going to see Ruby Evans and Abby Martin in action this afternoon, with both making the final. And for Abby, it's been a very busy 18 months. After a late call-up to the European Championships last spring, aged just 16, she went on to make her Olympic debut in Paris. Injury has kept her out until last month, but she is back and she's ready to step onto the World Championship stage for the first time ever. Let's hear from her.
It's definitely been a difficult journey and a difficult road from the Olympics. I think I went on such a high and like looking back on all my achievements to then finding out I was actually injured, just had like a 6-month kind of like come down to build back. The journey back from injury has been like quite up and down, but I think just to be back at this stage now, it just feels great. It's still surreal to like look back on, like, it was just like such an amazing experience, and especially being the youngest on the team and only being 16, I didn't expect it to happen, so it was kind of just like a dream come true at such a young age.
Well, absolutely superb from Abby Martin.
I think Paris World Cup being my first competition, well, my first international back, to get on that podium, I surprised myself. Like I had goals and I had aims, but my main goal was to just get back out there, be in a big arena and just enjoy it. So when I looked up at that scoreboard and saw I was in first, I didn't know how to feel. Like, I was just very happy. I kind of just had a bit of time to like take it all in, like go on the podium, have the national anthem play for myself for the first time. It was surreal. I didn't know how to feel. Like, I've seen other people have it played for them and like I've heard it be played, but when you're the one on that podium, it just like feels different. Like, it feels so special, and it's something I've never felt before. Like, I've been to the Olympics, so anything else I do now is just like amazing as well. And obviously my aims now are for LA 2028, so this quad is just about like building towards that. I feel ready. I think it's a bit nervous with it being my first World Championships and my first like big competition back other than Paris, and I just want to have fun.
She's sounding a lot wiser than her 17 years, isn't she? It's amazing what Abby crammed into literally like a whole career's worth in a matter of months, and how that can affect you. We heard her talking about her physical injuries there, but she's had a few of these sort of mental blocks, she's calling on social media as well, that she's working through.
Yeah, she's spoken quite openly about it, and she also kind of refers back to Simone Biles and how much that's helped her. And we spoke about it at the time. By Simone speaking out, it really does help other people, and you can see an example here. It's not a nice thing to have as a gymnast, to have that mental block, because you do feel like you have literally no control over it, and you just have to, as Abby says in her social media, sometimes you have to take 3 steps back to be able to take those steps forward, and that can be so disheartening, especially when she's had kind of 6 to 9 months of injury as well. But she's clearly been using the support network around her coaches, the national system. And it's great to see her out there looking so confident.
Yes, yeah, and she's certainly enjoying her gymnastics. She had a great run up to these championships at the Paris World Cup, Sam, with a gold medal on vault.
Yeah, she did very, very well, and like she said there in the VT, she surprised herself, and I think that's going to be key today. I think both the girls did very well on floor in qualifying, which,
yes, Ruby as well.
Which was probably contrary to a lot of the gymnasts were struggling on that apparatus. So that's a real advantage for them. And then they finish on vault, where Abby won that gold medal. So
yes,
I think that could play a real key role today, and then maybe climbing from that top 12, maybe getting towards that top 6.
And I mean, it's a very inexperienced team that's out there. I mean, Ruby's great. Obviously, she's got experience too. But, you know, when you think of the likes of Alice Kinsella, who's taken a break. Congratulations, by the way, if you're watching, Alice, on Parker, to you and Will. We're all very happy for you. But yeah, it's an inexperienced team. They're finding their feet, but they're certainly not letting the side down, so to speak.
Absolutely. I think it really is. I said to Beth yesterday, it's a real new generation. And I think today in this all-around final, we're going to see a bit of a battle of that new generation and those experienced veterans, as it were, kind of colliding. And I think that's very exciting as we approach this new cycle into LA, these new faces coming through, and this World Championships is a great opportunity to see some new faces.
Yeah, and also working up to a possible World Championships in 2030 in Liverpool. Those young gymnasts will be proper seniors by then.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we obviously saw Liverpool host the championships back in 2022, and the British team was so successful.
Yes.
And it does give those gymnasts something to look forward to. But
yes,
you talk about an inexperienced team, but you've got 2 members that have already been to an Olympics so early in their career, which can only help them build.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that Liverpool are awarded the World Championships
hope so.
2030. It's just a bit at this stage, but anyway. The action got underway a little while ago in Jakarta, so I am now off to the commentary box to join Christine Still and Craig Heap.
So first gymnast out into the arena from Switzerland, Lena Bickel. And the next from the Netherlands, Naomi Visa, very experienced gymnast. And the top qualifier from Italy, Asia D'Amato, twin sister of Alicia. From Spain, Laia Font, one of 2 gymnasts qualified for this final. And from Germany, Celia Stoer. And the final gymnast starting on the beam is Kaija Tanskanen from Finland. These are the gymnasts in the group that start on the beam exercise. And the group
that are starting on the floor. 19 years of age from Hungary, it's Greta Moya. And her teammate out into the arena, Zoya Seke, 22 years of age, lots of experience. Next out, representing Australia, is Brianna Scott, 23 years of age. And for Slovenia, Lucia Ribar, 24 years of age, lots of experience in this group, starting on the floor. And representing the Czech Republic at just 18 years of age is Sonia Artemanova. And our final competitor in this group, representing Mexico, Natalia Escalera, 23 years of age. Again, lots of experience in this group.
And now we come to the top qualifiers. Kylie Namor, the fabulous performer on asymmetric bars, will be the first up. And Iko Sugihara, qualified second all around. She'll be the next performer. These gymnasts start on the vault. And great favourite, Angelina Melnikova, here as a neutral athlete, world champion in 2021, so she'll be wanting to complete the double. Karina Schoenmeier from Germany. And the top gymnast from the USA, Dulcie Kaylor, fairly new to the international stage. And bring up the last person in this group is Zhong Qingying from China, the top qualifier from that nation.
And next into the arena, it's the group that qualified in the second spot. Behind the top group there, starting on bars, Lian Wong of United States, 22 years of age. Kishi Rina of Japan, 18 years of age, relatively new to the world circuit. And neutral athlete Ludmila Rushina, 17 years of age. And representing Great Britain, just 17 years of age, Abigail Martin. Teammate also from Great Britain, Ruby Evans, 18 years of age. Starting on the uneven bars. And the final competitor, representing Spain, Alba Patisico, 22 years of age, bags of experience. This gymnast, been a real powerhouse in the Spanish team. So they're the runners and riders in these women's all-around final. Gymnasts now have 30 seconds each, so 3-minute warm-up. The top group starting on the vault.
On the vault, the gymnasts just have 2 vaults. They'll usually choose a one-touch and then their actual competition vault.
We've talked a lot about the equipment over the last few days. How does the vault fare with the usual kind of equipment that they'll be using in the GB squad, Chris?
Well, it's a little bit different. The top of the vault is sprung, the top of the platform, so there will be a little bit of a difference as to the bounce you get. But the big thing is how hard the landing mats are.
Yep.
And these
Yep.
are really quite hard, these landing mats. And it's something, I mean, gymnasts at this level don't land on hard mats every day. So they gradually, as they get nearer to competition, will start landing on hard mats. But, you know, each very hard landing takes a bit of a toll. So the coaches will be judging it very carefully, the number of hard landings they've taken.
I think interesting as well, over the years we've looked about athlete safety and things. If you go back 30 years, you didn't even have the topper mat, which they've now got on the vault, under the bars, end of the beam. So I do think obviously the difficulty's gone up massively. And going back to the vault, Matt, I think the vault's one of those that's quite similar. I think the thing which can change around the continents are the springboards.
Springboards, yeah.
Because, you know, gymnasts sometimes put more springs in, they take them out for the lighter gymnasts. So you've got to be, it's like Formula One.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a couple
yeah.
of different springboards that you can see that the coaches are swapping between. So
yeah, they are different ones, but they will be prescribed. I mean, you have to work on at least 5 springs. When we go to, say, the British Junior Championships, our youngsters will be on a 5-spring softboard or maybe a 4-spring board. They'll be allowed to choose. But at this level, you have to use 5 springs. But there are, like you say, Craig, there are different amounts of bounce, and different boards are harder or softer.
I mean, fascinating to think of what's going on in the mind of Angelina Melnikova. The last time we saw her, she took the world title and she took a bronze at the Olympics in the all-round competition. It's been a long time since she's been in the company of gymnasts like this. It'll be interesting to see how a competition rolls out, Chris.
Well, it will, because really she's been a wonderful gymnast for many, many years, but quite often has made a mistake at that crucial moment, which is why she doesn't hold more world titles. And whether the timeout has given her maturity to deal with that pressure or increase the anxiety, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, there are a few mistakes in qualification for some of the other gymnasts, so it's certainly not a one-horse race, which we tend to be in the all-round competition, with Biles obviously not here, and who knows whether she'll come back or not.
On we go then with the first piece of apparatus for the top 24 here in the women's all-around competition. This is Greta Meyer of Hungary.
There's been a real shift in the artistry of the routines. Big opening tumble. 2 somersaults in the straight position. Another big second tumble, full twist out, the double back. Gymnasts have to show a series of leaps, and with that comes the flexibility, hitting those split positions. Hungarian gymnasts noted for their grace and beauty. Oh, and it was very close to the corner there. Very well negotiated. Quite a slow, measured routine, working with the music. Stands up into the double pike. good, solid performance to get this women's all-round competition underway.
Well, that is the first of 4 pieces of apparatus for Greta Moyer of Hungary.
And she's a really strong tumbler. That's the final tumble, the double pike. There's bonus marks for finishing with a difficult tumble, a D or above, and that's double back with full twist. That's a difficult tumble. Each of these tumbles are given a ranking, an A, B, C, D, E, and so on.
So Liang Wang of Team USA was the first gymnast up on bars. Took a silver in the all-around competition back in 2021.
And the most experienced member of the team, lovely front somersault caught on really straight arms. Good pirouette, you have to include one of those to get your full bonus. Straight into the full turning pack. That'll get extra marks, and a nice shap to the high bar. Pack salto back down to the low bar. It's this swinging and adding in moves without any deductions. Lovely half turn in the Shaposhnikova. Coach shadowing her. Good double straight dismount. That was a good opening set.
Very strong indeed for Liang Wang. She actually qualified down in 9th place, but I think that qualification round was a real fact-finding mission for her, and she's really gone back, worked on a few things, and she means business in this final.
Looking at that there, Matt, the coach is very close. And obviously the coaches are allowed to shadow and spot for the safety of the gymnast.
Do you think there was a touch?
Well, it's pretty close. I suppose it depends what angle you're at.
One of the favourites then for this all-round title is Kélia Nemo of Algeria, the 3rd highest qualifier, but she fell here in qualification.
Oh, and that's much better this time around. Double twist on the Yurchenko. She was way down in qualification, didn't have such a happy announcing, but that was much better. And as you said, Matt, one of the favourites to take this title. Great start for Nemo.
And a big sigh of relief from her and her coaches. She was a little bit offline, and it was quite a deep landing. You could see how close to the floor her hand was.
But she scored 12.433 in qualification. It's going to be a lot higher than that.
At least 1 mark higher, for sure.
Well, Naomi Visser next on beam. Such a graceful and elegant gymnast on this piece of apparatus. And she's got difficulty to match the artistry.
Very nice flip mount. It's always difficult to start with something as risky as that, but she performed it beautifully. Strong free walkover. You have to do forward elements and sideways, backwards as well. Here comes the acrobatic series, which is costly. You have to link 2 acrobatic moves. And she just was a bit tentative with the free cartwheel. Didn't have enough power to make the flip. But lovely split on the leaps, the changed leg leap into the side somersault. You have to be bold on the beam. You can't really hold back. You have to do spins. That's a lovely, lovely double spin. That's worth as much as the acrobatic moves. And they're the little series of dance that you have to include. Nice series, albeit quite basic. The top 8 moves are added to give you a difficulty score, but there's certain requirements you have to do as well. Have to work low to the beam like that. She's got 10 seconds to dismount after that bell. Nice 2.5 twist. That was a shame that she was so tentative on that acro series.
It really was, but I mean, what a comeback as well, to get back on the beam and then deliver with such aplomb in the way that she did. Namor scores a 13.466, so almost a mark ahead of what she scored in qualification on vault. And she qualified in third with the all-round score. So things are going well after the first piece. She moves on to her favourite piece next, which is this piece of apparatus here, bars. And here we have Kishirina of Japan. She was the 8th highest qualifier. She finished 11th at the Olympics in the all-round.
Well, no problem at the start, the full turn into the handstand, just taking that extra swing. The back somersault down to the low bar. That was a good transition. Back to the top bar. Gymnasts have to really lock out the handstands. So difficult to get a good score. Oh, that was lovely high. The front somersault, the Jaeger somersault. Swinging half turn, a little bit short on the handstand. And again, a little bit late on the handstand, but well into the dismount. I think there's areas there, Chris, where the judges could just pick up tense. I mean, they really are harsh, don't you think, the judges?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's their job.
You're right, Matt, and they're eagle-eyed.
Well, 13.8 for Lian Wong. So they were kind to her, if you think that the judge, if the coach.
Well, I just think we were discussing at breakfast now. I think the judging on the women's side is really harsh.
So all eyes now at the end of the vault runway for Angelina Melnikova, neutral athlete, back on the international stage. Just the one vault. How's it going to go?
And she qualified top on vault, so we're expecting a great vault, and there it was. Lovely double twist, no pike down. Tiny bit off direction. I don't know if she just, let's have a look at this replay. Very powerful blocks on straight arms, up, super tight through the body. She landed well within the lines and she held it in.
Yeah.
So that's great.
See, yeah, seems like 2021 was yesterday.
Well, I mean, that's as good as we've seen. And again, with that experience comes the confidence of knowing that's well within her repertoire.
Greta Meyer scores 12.7. Pops her in fourth. That was her first piece floor. She'll move to vault next. Naomi Visser scores 12.233 after that fall on beam. Not the way you want to start your all-around competition. We saw with the men yesterday, 6 pieces of apparatus. It's a long way around. You can afford a few faults there to work your way back, but when you've only got 4 pieces, only 3 left now, you know, it's pretty much game over if you take a fall like that. Sugihara Aiko of Japan.
Another good vault coming. Watch this, fast approach, dynamic. 1.5 twist. So it's not the double twist, but I mean, absolutely bang nailed that landing. And she's happy with that. Should score well on the execution.
She's going to be up the standings after that. She is. Look at that second, 13.9. It's a huge score.
There's not many gymnasts that will get a 9.3 on execution.
I know, look, just a 4.6 on the difficulty. So the whole vault is marked out of 4.6. Not giving a huge amount away there.
No,
Chris.
and delighted with it. Quite an expressive, often the gymnasts from Japan are not very expressive, but she really is a performer. That was fantastic.
Well, second highest qualifier for the all-round. Sugihara Aiko. Melnikova receives 14.1 for vault.
First 14 we've seen today.
Corina Schoenmeier next to vault. European vault champion, and she's in the vault final. with the 4th highest score. She scored over 14, so she could challenge Melnikova here.
Big flip, oh, big double twist, but I don't think she will with that. The direction was not the best. But she's very athletic, very powerful. She really blocks high. Up she goes, but you can see she just left with one arm a little bit bent, and that then projects you sideways off the top.
I do think when you see the replay, you can see if they're twisting a little bit early off the top, that makes them drift to one side. You just need to pause a little bit before you initiate the turn.
So Sugihara in second at the moment, behind Angelina Melnikova. Shirina scores a 13.033. Puts her into 6th. Brianna Scott of Australia. She qualified 19th for this all-round competition. What can the 23-year-old do here?
And starts from the 2 feet here into the big tumble. Oh, very nicely executed double straight, held the body beautifully straight. Here's the forward element. Into the twisting element, you have to show forward and backward tumbling. She's done that very nicely. Super split on the leaps. And that was a very clean spin. As well as tumbling, the gymnasts have to show dance moves, leaps, jumps and spins. Here we have another, just a single spin, but beautifully executed. Dances into this tumble, big double pike, good landing. Well, dramatic to the end, a very nicely performed routine.
Yes, and that will put her in the mix after the first rotation. She'll be off to vault next. Yeah, it had the lot, didn't it, that floor routine?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there's a real emphasis on the artistry now as opposed to the big power tumbles.
Sean Meyer scores a 13.566 for her vault.
Could see the 0.3 penalty for stepping outside the tram lines.
Interesting, that first group, how quite a few of them have lost a 0.3. You know, and it's all right pushing these big vaults, but if you can't execute them, you're going to get absolutely hammered by the judges.
So Dulcie Kalo, she qualified 5th for this all-round.
Now that's much better. Double twist to Yurchenko. You could see her, she blocked off the top. There was just that little pause before she initiated the twist, and you can tell because she lands in line with the platform. Watch, block, in, 2 twists, plenty of time. Good, solid start.
13.966, so close to that 14 mark, but she won the selection event, getting her instant access to these World Championships back in the USA, the all-round competition. She was victorious there and got her ticket for Indonesia. But yeah, great vault. You could see she's getting ready for bars next. Taping up the wrists, ready for the handguards. So Ludmila Roshina competing as a neutral athlete here.
Just 17 years of age. New really to the international stage. 2 very nice elements there. and into a big Stolder catch of all. She just lost a bit of rhythm, but covered it very, very well. Flying well between these bars into the Ginga Salto. Turn off, there's the big pike forward somersault. She pulled that a little bit close, but she swings with beautiful technique and style. Here we come up into the dismount. Double back with full twist, beautiful landing. Well, that was special bar work.
It was. I love her style.
That's a big routine, actually.
Yeah.
Lots of release and catch skills. And again, at just 17 years of age, a few more years, repetition to this routine. And she's definitely a bar worker of the future.
Well, 13.833 for your first international.
See there where she just caught with those bent elbows. The judges will take probably 0.3 for that. And
she hit her feet on the bars as well, so that's a deduction.
Well, Roshina at the moment is in fourth. As we move across to beam now. Celia Stoa of Germany. She's also 17.
Germans have a bit of a tradition on this piece of apparatus. Pauline Schaefer has sort of led the way. And obviously a new crop of gymnasts coming through. Oh, and that's a lovely combination. 3 acrobatic skills linked together. Gymnasts have to keep the routine moving. Lovely controlled side somersault. Again, a bit like the floor, artistry now has become a big part of this piece of apparatus. Not fully hitting the split there, but still a very difficult leap. Gymnasts have to perform skills low on the beam as well. This is a very difficult spin. Oh, and she did that very well. Good choreography. Nice extension work as well. Look at the point of the fingers, the hands. Good routine so far, stands up. Double twist to finish. Great routine,
Beautiful.
Very solid.
What a fantastic way to start your all-around on beam. If you've got, you know, if you're drawn in that group that has to start on beam, I mean, to get that out the way.
Yeah, she performed very nicely. Her first couple of elements she wobbled quite a lot on, but then settled down well.
Brianna Scott is awarded 12.433 for floor.
See the execution in the sevens. You really have to do something very special to get more.
Across to Alba Petisco of Spain. She took a silver medal in the all-around competition at the European Championships earlier this year.
Very powerful, strong gymnast. Lovely hop to start with into the high front somersault. And now the big packed salto coming out of the piked Kachev. Bonus marks for that link. Good, the shap into the swing down to the low bar. You have to use the high and the low bar, and she's very smooth in her transitions. Here comes the full pirouette. Often a difficult move for the gymnast to do well, but that's full twisting double back. Lovely start for her.
Well, that was absolutely packed, that routine. The momentum and the tempo that she kept throughout the whole thing was absolutely superb. She scored a 12.933 in qualification. She's got to go higher than that.
Well, for me, in a few places, the legs were split a little bit, and that's the hardest part with, obviously, when you're doing the release and catches, you're transferring between the bars. You've really got to lock out in the handstands, really got to keep the legs nice and tight, feet together, but it should score well.
Stoa scores a 12.7 for that beam routine.
To get into the 8s for execution, it's very difficult on this judging system. You have to really be so clean.
Across to Kaija Tanskanen, the 19-year-old Finnish gymnast. She qualified down in 16th place for this.
Oh, but that was a very good straight back somersault. Very confident on the landing. Here, flip, layout, and another super acrobatic series. There was no hesitation there. The forward series, and she managed to link the free walkover to the straddle jump. Just a little wobble as she landed. This is the important spin. Just a single, but you have to include a spin, whether it's upright or a squat spin. And as Craig said, you have to work low to the beam as well. Two leaps, the change leg leap and the change leg quarter. Not quite as confidently performed as her acrobatic work, but that side somersault was full of confidence. So she's fulfilled all the requirements. Barely a wobble now, a big dismount if she wants a really high score. Here it comes.
Oh!
1.5 dismount, not the hardest, but very secure.
Very good. Will she get the 0.1 for the stick?
No,
They don't do it on the women's
women
side, do
don't
they?
do the 0.1 for the stick, no.
Why not?
Well, I said the judges are
Why
so
not?
mean on the women's side, didn't I?
I mean, come on.
That was a big acrobatic series in the middle.
Very good.
It's interesting, the big acrobatic series look the most impressive, but some of the splits, leaps and combinations are equally as difficult.
Look at that, 13.466 for Petisco. She's up a half a mark from qualification.
7.9 in execution.
I'm going to say still not an 8.
There.
I do think they should bring the 0.1 in for the women's. I think it would really add, you know, another dimension.
Yes, couldn't agree more. So Zhong Qingying of China, 4th highest qualifier for this all-round. A gymnast that will certainly be in the mix, certainly if she nails this.
Full twist in the Sukahara, not the most difficult we've seen. It is a big vault for a small gymnast because we see a lot of the gymnasts opting for the Yurchenko one where they can generate the power, so you've got to be so powerful. The block, the full twist, showing the stretch position, and good down the centre as well.
13 scored for Zhong Qingying, 0.1 lower than what she scored in qualification.
For the Chinese women, vault is a bit of a problem. They rarely turn up with big vaulters.
A chance then to see Abigail Martin from Great Britain. Come on, Abby.
Oh, good pirouette immediately into the shap. That's good. Watch, here's the big catcher. Very well done indeed. Smooth hop. Another big somersault. There's the Jaeger somersault. She's really going for broke here. Has to go down to the low bar. The pack salto's clean. Here we go up, shap half. This is great work from Abby. Concentrate fully. That good full twisting double back.
Great.
What a routine. Abigail Martin, you have really made strides.
Oh my word, we were talking in the studio, the year, you know, what she's experienced in the past 18 months is incredible, and to put in a 13.466 on your first piece, bars, what a strong start for Abby Martin, and what a start for Great Britain.
Absolutely, and really, this is the piece she's had to work really hard at. She's a great tumbler and vaulter.
Kaija Tanskanen, a 12.5 for beam. Natalia Escalara of Mexico is the last gymnast waiting to go on floor. We're just... a scene of composure as Natalia Escalara of Mexico takes to the floor.
Fiery music. And fiery tumbles to match. Excellent double layout. To me, this is exactly what the judges are looking for. Full of passion and personality. There was a forward walk out. Sky high double pike, no problem. Third tumble, straight front, walked out into a double back. Just a little bit of a soft leg on landing. Well, a magical performance from the Mexican there. I absolutely love that routine.
Packed with fun, entertaining, full of difficulty. Ideal.
That's a great tumble, isn't it? Full twisting front, you walk out of it into the double pike. It really was, and she sold the routine so well.
I'm right in thinking, Christine, it is about facial expressions as well now in your performance of the floor routine.
Yes, very much so.
Here's yet D'Amato of Italy.
And her twin sister, of course, is the Olympic champion on the beam. She had to miss the Olympics with injury, so she'll be wanting to get this one under her belt. Good backflip and layout somersault. Great to see her back in the Italian team. Strong free walkover, and that was very nicely linked. She went straight into the two jumps, and that's bonus marks for her. A little bit hesitant on that linkage. Two good jumps, but she would get bonus if she linked them, which she just had a hesitation in the middle. Oh, you know, when you've been out of competition a long while, it's very difficult to come back on the beam without any wobbles, and she's fighting well, but just a little bit jittery there in the middle. Nice and calm on the spin. Into the rhythm now. The judges want to see constant movement on the beam. And you can see the maturity in her performance here. Arms working, little movement of the head. Wants to be precise on this round off. Up in the air, double pike. Lovely finish for somebody who's just recovering from leg injury.
Yeah, well, she knows what it's like to win international medals. She was a European all-round champion back in 2022 and got to 12.9 for her first piece of the four in this women's all-round world final. So Escalada scores 12.966 up on qualification. Good start for her. Vault next. Then bars, then beam, then floor. But here is confirmation of how things look after the first piece of apparatus. Angelina Melnikova leads Dulcie Kalo, who's in second, and Aiko Sugahara in third as it stands at the moment. Ruby Evans is in 14th, but Abby Martin is in the top 10 as it stands. She's 7th after one. And here's how things look further down the leaderboard. Brianna Scott, 18th, and Zoya Zakai, the Hungarian, finishes 24th after the first piece. It's Kishirina on beam.
and the Japanese team have really performed well in the last few years on the beam. Lovely, flexible gymnasts. Oh, but that was a bit of a dodgy start. She made it without a fall, but she won't have been quite credited with the double spin. Oh, and a little step forwards, which means she was under-rotated on that free cartwheel layout, but she really held it well. And there's the big jumps, the change leg to ring, then 2 more leaps to give her the big high start value. The side somersault, you have to have at least 3 dance elements, so she's had her spins and her leaps. Now she's building difficulty. Oh, she just made the split link ring out of the free walkover. That's how these gymnasts build their difficulty score, by the links. And she's hit quite a few of them here. Here comes this dismount, the round off, the double pike. Good landing. It was a little bit edgy at the start, but she really focused and nailed that.
Well, you've got to stay on, haven't you? It's as simple as that on the beam. You know, any fall from the apparatus, 1 full mark, and that really does take you out the running. And you're right, it is a piece where you can be a little bit edgy. But let's just think about that. Oh, she did so well to recover that.
She did, yes. Kishirina qualified in 8th, going for a top 10 finish. Now we are back to bars with her compatriot. The gymnast that qualified in 2nd is currently in 3rd after vault. Sugahara Aiko, she's 26 years old, vastly experienced. Knows how to remain calm under extreme pressure. Things really do start to build in the latter stages of this competition.
She posted a 5.4 of difficulty in qualification. Oh, lovely height and flight on that straddle Jaeger somersault. Good position in the handstand. There transfers back to the high bar, the Ginga somersault.
Oh no!
And it was just a little bit flat. So that means the weight when you catch the bar is pulling you down, where if your feet are a little bit back, it allows you to swing out. And I think that's one of the problems with that skill between the bars. You can't just sort of get the same height as you would if you're at the other side of the bar. But that's absolutely disastrous. 1 full mark.
And losing the value, really, of the Ginga somersault as well.
Well, she's
Has to finish off.
She'll pick up where she left off. She won't try it again.
Oh, and a lovely dismount. What a shame. And actually, Christian, I'm just wondering, on the men's side, if you show and momentarily hang, you get the credit.
Yes.
So would that be the same on the women's?
Yes, it is the same on the women's. I'm not quite sure whether they will have... we'd have to have a little look. She might have shown a momentary hang, but she didn't do the move before. She's doing it from a shap, which is a flight from the low bar to the high bar, and she didn't really do that move very well, so she didn't set herself up well for the next element. It's yeah, a shame, big shame for her, because she's looked very strong.
So after beam, Asia D'Amato moves to floor.
And very nicely round, that very difficult spin with your leg held high. Big, strong opening tumble. Oh, she made that double straight look easy. And a strong double Arabian. The half turn into the double front. but not quite round that spin. Very good on all these landings. Needs to keep the energy right to the end here. She does. Lovely technique on the double back. Super high, straddle full turn jump. And this the important leap series. Well, lots of drama, really well performed. She finished with a very difficult leap that I think they will give. So quite a complete performance.
She's now halfway around. Sugihara's just going through the motions of what happened on bars. She's awarded a 12.2 after that fall. And halfway around, 2 more pieces to go for her. But sadly, she'll be out of the running for a medal. But someone who is certainly got her sights set on the podium this year is Angelina Melnikova, competing as a neutral athlete here. She was leading after the first piece, after scoring 14.1 on vault, looking to increase her lead here.
This really is a good, strong piece of apparatus for this gymnast. Lovely flight down, immediately back up to the top bar. Stoop into the half, high pike, front somersault, the Jaeger, release and catch. A half turn, stoop into the full, straight into a full twisting dismount. That's how you put a routine together.
Well, that was absolutely superb, and she's going to need every 10th with Kelia Nimor coming up shortly, who has a huge routine, but she didn't give much away there.
She didn't, and it's a fairly short routine. I mean, the idea is to do your 8 moves and no more, because the more moves you do, the more deductions you can attract. And that is a cleverly put together routine there. She's so good at that stoop.
Yeah, not many free swings before. No. You really do have to connect them, and that's what you see, the best bar workers in the world. Every time you do we call it a free swing, you're going to pick up deductions. That was fabulous, but it's even better to come on bars.
Kishirina scores a 13.433 on beam. Says a current leader, but Melnikova's score hasn't come in yet. Abby's on beam. Well, Abby scored brilliantly on bars. This then her second piece of apparatus, just 17 years old, the 12th highest qualifier, going for a top 10 finish.
Well, it's a packed beam routine. She'll need all her nerve here. So, good focus on the spin. That's cleanly round. Nicely performed. Strong on the free walkover. She made that landing very well. Now the acrobatic series has to be strong and clean. 1 layout, 2 layouts. Good. Spots the landing well. Cleanly on the 2 leaps that change their quarter. And a little straddle jump added in. Oh, well held, Abby. Free cartwheel near the end of the routine. Easy to let your concentration slip, but now the dismount. Big, strong round off, double pike, couple of steps back, but that was an impressive performance for her.
Very impressive in this company at the World Championships. Incredible stuff. We said it's been a bit of a baptism of fire for Abby Martin, but she's coping brilliantly. 14.7 for Angelina Melnikova. Massive.
Up on qualification, and she upped the difficulty by a 10th. And she'll need every 10th today.
Karina Schoenmeier next up to swing the bars.
Katchev straight down the pack salto down to the low bar. Stoop, just taking that extra stoop there, the shap with the half turn. Good handstand position. Oh, and that was a little bit wayward on the very simple half turn. Now the full turn. Full twisting double back. You can see the difference where the gymnast takes those extra swings, and that's where the judges' pens are just going 10th, 10th, 10th.
I mean, they should certainly bring the 0.1 for bars, shouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? You
Beam,
really want to celebrate.
Beam and everything. Well, last tumble on floor, I think it should be across the board.
What the women's code have is a 0.2 if you finish with a D dismount or harder, which obviously means that they're encouraging people, and actually it's what splits the really good gymnasts, whether they can do a big last tumble or a big dismount.
12.8 for Essia D'Amato.
I don't disagree, though. It would probably be a good addition, but not if they're then going to water down the difficulty, which is what we essentially saw on the men's side.
Well, on the men's, though, it has to be C or above, D or above. So if they stipulate it has to be this minimum to get the bonus, then it will encourage them to go for a big dismount.
So Abby Martin scores 12.4 for beam.
Good difficulty, 5-4.
Up on her qualification. Well done, Abby. She's having a storming competition. Ruby Evans next to go on beam for Great Britain. The Welsh all-round champion, 10th in the all-round at the European Championships earlier this year.
Good, strong front somersault, and part of the team that took the 4th place at the Olympics. Showing a bit of risk there on the dance work. Holds that spin. Now that spin is actually a D element, so it's worth quite a lot of marks. And the 2 leaps, nicely joined. She's a very elegant gymnast, Ruby. 2 backflips and a layout somersault again. Well held, she's fighting hard. And another super spin. So she's done 2 double spins in this routine. Lovely work. Clean on that free walkover. She didn't give anything away to the judges. Now, come on, Ruby, big dismount, 2.5, lovely dismount, well landed, great routines from the British girls.
Packed with difficulty, and what an achievement to have 2 gymnasts in the top 24 going for the top 10.
And 2 through the beam, which is fantastic because that is the piece of nerves, isn't it?
Karina Schoenmeier scores a 13.2. Yeah, I mean, incredible to say that potentially you can have 2 top 10 gymnasts in the all-round from Great Britain at the World Championships.
Absolutely, especially sort of 2 young gymnasts, with having had so many older gymnasts not here.
Dulcie Kalo, the gymnast in 2nd place.
Well, not so good in qualification on this piece of apparatus, so there's obviously room for improvement. Katchev, a little bit flat. Position in the handstand, and her legs a little bit scrappy there in the shap with the half turn. That's, I was just going to say, that's a better Jaeger somersault.
Now that I think they would give momentary hang. That she did hang for a moment before she ripped off.
Wow, it was going well. You know, she scored 12.1 in qualification, and she was going for everything there. She really was. What a shame. I think it took her by surprise as well.
She'll have to finish. Dismount to go, winds up. Double straight. Well, what a shame. That one full mark. I think you can just see the inexperience of competing. It is a big stage for some of these gymnasts that have never been, you know, to a World Championships before, the arena, being in a different country, and again, just experience for some of these gymnasts.
I think the American gymnasts have struggled a little bit with the different equipment. They compete very much in USA a lot, and
12.033 for Ruby Evans on beam, 13th place for her as it stands halfway round. Albert Batisco of Spain next to mount the beam. 6th at the Europeans back in 2024. Silver in the all-round at the Euros earlier this year. Melnikova still leading. Sean Meyer second. Keisha Rena third at the moment.
Good start, round off layout. And that's very good, solid leap series. This gymnast has got great leg extension, you can see there. Oh, and what a shame there. The double spin, just a little bit off balance. Has to get straight back on the beam. Here's the acrobatic series. 2 flicks into a layout, no problem there. Free cartwheel. Oh, and a little bit tentative there on the jump. You can see after the fall, it just does knock the gymnast's confidence. And this is an apparatus that needs tons of confidence. Dismount to go. Come on, focus. Round off, stands up, big double pike. It's a bit of a shame, actually, because that routine would have scored quite well, Chris.
Yes, she did really, really well at Europeans earlier in the year, and I was surprised to see that mistake, but there's sort of no coming back. It's one of those moves that once you've launched yourself, you can't...
Yeah, you have to commit, you're fully committed.
Dulcie Kayla scores a 12.233 after that fall on bars. What a shame, she's gone from second down to 6th. John Qingying will be next to go. She was the 4th highest qualifier, was a little bit down after vault, but she's sitting in 11th and she will start to climb her way back. 13.4 in qualification on this piece.
Well, the gymnasts from China usually perform with such virtuosity on the bars, and that was a lovely start into the pack salto. 2 forward circle elements, well up into that high bar, super Kachev. That's 2 difficult elements linked, which gives you a bonus. Nice full pirouette. Oh, straight into the full twisting double back, but it was short of the very huge elements we often see from the Chinese.
But it was efficient, again, as you were saying, with the 8 moves, cramming them in, you know, not tiring herself out with a long routine. Kriba next to go on vault.
4.2 on the difficulty. Easily round the full twist, Yurchenko.
She was 15th at the all-round at the Europeans earlier this year. She well, she scored a little bit lower than what she did in qualifications. A 13.1 puts her in 15th place at the moment. Halfway around for her. What a shame for Petisco on beam. 12.2, a story of what could have been. She knows it. So to Lian Wong, qualified 9th, sitting in 5th after the first piece. She needs a good, strong beam here. Good, solid start on bars. Keep the consistency.
Oh, lovely start. 2 difficult leaps, a third added on. Nice and secure on this free cartwheel. She's showing her maturity. The change leg ring. Have to try and touch the head with the foot. And that's how you do the squat spin. Fully controlled all the way round. Can see how strong her core is. Now she's got to fly through the air, the backflip, the layout, somersault.
Solid.
Very precise. The judges like to see the gymnast right up on the toes. She's fulfilling that as well. And because she's so in control through the middle of her body, she can link the elements. Little extra arm swing to bring that side somersault under control, but not very much deduction attracted there. Just making sure of the 2 leaps. You have to join 2 jumps or leaps. And here comes the dismount, the full turning. The full turning somersault, gain a somersault off the end of the beam. There, she really didn't give the judges much there at all. That was very good work.
Zhong Jingying scores a 13.9 for bars. Huge. But yeah, from Lian Wong, that was absolute class. It really was. She got a silver medal back in 2021, and what a bid for the podium again. All eyes now on bars are on Kelia Namor. She scored the only 15 of the championships in qualification on this piece of apparatus. She's an absolute virtuoso of this piece.
But she has to go for broke. It's one move after the other. Here we go. Full pirouette. Into the enormous somersault. And she didn't quite get that link. We haven't often seen that, and a little bit slower there. She's working hard, and it's working well. Here we go, straight up to the high bar again. She's recomposed herself really nicely. Full pirouette here, into the dismount, double straight. She did so well, because that first element was just a bit close, and she didn't go for those big links, but wow.
Well, it was a masterclass on bars. You know, if she had to readjust halfway through, it sort of makes it even more impressive, really.
Well, I think she readjusted about half a dozen times throughout that routine. She wasn't just in the correct position, but again, that's just volume of doing that routine day in, day out. And there was only one part where she did the straight catch-up and took the upstart. It's not a deduction, but she won't have the same start value.
No.
But I mean, what a classy routine. That's what bars is all about.
Well, but I'm so impressed, because we've never seen her had to fight like that before.
No.
Vault we go.
Artemanova. Yurchenko with the full twist. Another quite simple vault at this sort of level, and had to pike down.
Artemanova scores a 12.9. She's 15th at the moment.
You can see there where the execution is 8-7 to the 9s, because certainly on a full twist, it's a relatively simple vault. You really should be showing great extension in that straight position.
Natalia Scalara of Mexico was 12th after floor, going for a 4.6 on the difficulty. She's a bit of a floor and vault specialist, so hopefully a bit of magic here.
Well, she flips on, nice and high, 1.5 twist, very powerful, very long, but well controlled.
And this is what I was talking about on the execution. Just look at the body position, how stretched she is. 1.5 twist.
Moves her up into 5th, 13.5. Bars next for her. So yes, I think we're done. Lian Wong's score is in, 13.5, moves her up into 2nd. Angelina Melnikova is still leading. As we go down to her compatriot, Roshina, Ludmila Roshina, neutral athlete. Oh, and she's off at the beginning.
Such a risky move, that, the front summy on. It's great if it works, but now she's started the routine with 1 mark deduction. Fought hard for the leap. Oh, and that's super. Handspring, tuck front somersault. So difficult to perform on the beam. A little bit wobbly on the free cartwheel. She's just a little bit hesitant. Look, you can see she takes a couple of taps before each move that the judges will be deducting for. But all of her work is super. Lovely extension. Just needs a little more confidence to perform in this arena. Readjusting the body shape there slightly. But she's a lovely, supple and well-prepared gymnast. There we are. She didn't manage to join the first 2 jumps, so she took the second 2. It fulfills the requirement, means she doesn't lose marks for not having 2 jumps or leaps together. Now, puts her feet on, lovely, strong, double tuck.
I'm quite impressed with this young gymnast. She's only 17 years of age. You give her a couple more years and competition experience, and I think she'll be right up there.
Well, yeah, 11.733 with a fall on beam, 17 years old. We were really impressed with her on bars. Kalia Nimor, 15.166, lower than qualification. She's in 2nd behind Melnikova halfway round. Kalia Nimor was banking on that bars routine to put her on top of the pile, but Angelina Melnikova leads ahead of Kalia Nimor with Lian Wong of the USA in 3rd. Abby Martin has dropped down to 11th. Ruby Evans in 21st. Halfway round, so still a long way to go in this women's all-round world final. Well, on we go with Melnikova, first up on beam in this 3rd rotation, and she's not hanging around.
No, she nailed those first 2 leaps. Bonus for the 2 difficult leaps.
Oh, she's gone.
Wow, well, like I've said over the years, she's been suspect to making errors, but that she did really well with the move because it was almost sideways, the landing. And she's got back on, working strongly, nice full twisting flip. She's working with such speed and purpose, that's impressing me. And that's what the judges want to see. They want to see surety of performance. They want to see the gymnast looking confident. Floats that side, Summy. She's very elegant, dancing along the beam. And now actually she really is showing her experience there. Here we go for the dismount, round off, double pike, super dismount. What a shame, because that was lovely beam work.
Yes, oh my goodness me, but you heard the floor routine music going on at the same time, and it was just so dramatic, everything that was happening. But yeah, Melnikov's been there, done that, she knows what that feels like.
Well, and I still don't think it's over, because Nemours got to go through a routine without a fall. And apart from that fall, Chris, it was a classy performance.
It really was.
Absolutely.
Brianna Scott now from Australia on bars. Qualified 19th, she scored a 12.566 in qualification on this piece.
Oh, and a very good catch there. The pike front somersault. Good handstand shape there. A little bit early on the half turn. And again, the full turn, just a bit late on the catch. Oh, and what a dismount, full twisting double straight. I was just going to say it was quite a generic playing routine in terms of releasing catches, but that dismount there, well.
Super, you can see the stress through the shoulders into the lovely front somersault. That was a really good catch, wasn't it? Arm's length.
Super, absolutely superb for the Australian. Really building their team now. Here's D'Amato of Italy, sitting in 13th place, halfway around, going for quite a difficult vault here.
She is. Here we go. Up. Double twist. She's competed this for a lot of years, and you know, she's delighted to be back, and she's going to grasp it with two hands.
Well, she's seeing all sorts happen with the top group, so why not try and be as consistent as possible?
Absolutely.
Probably one of the best double twists you'll see at this championships on the vault.
Such a talented gymnastic family. So, D'Amato scores a 13.966, big vault score. She puts her into second as it stands. Melnikova's awarded a 12.8 with a fall on beam.
That's up from qualification, actually. Yeah. So, what did Nemours have? A 13.2. So the pressure really is on.
She fell, did Nemours as well. Shaun Meyer of Germany. Can she get herself onto the podium, sitting in 5th at the moment?
Oh, and a very difficult start. This front somersault is catching a few gymnasts out. Oh, and another wobble there, the flick into the layout somersault. Easy to say, but gymnasts have to really attack this piece of apparatus with confidence. It's got good rhythm and tempo so far. Down onto the beam. Fulfilling the requirements. Now concentrate on this spin, 1.5. Oh, and another little adjustment there. That's better, side somersault. Lovely full twisting gainer back to finish. She stayed on, few little wobbles. It was a bit tentative, Christine.
Yes, she's a really determined gymnast. You can see that. She wasn't giving in.
Brianna Scott scores a 12.666 for bars. Well, it's fantastic that we're getting to see a lot of Abby Martin from Great Britain. She's in 11th as it stands. She loves floor. She's in the floor final. This is a great routine.
Worked so hard on this choreography. Now, this is a very big, important tumble. Round off flip, up, full twisting, double straight, just a step back. Beautiful work. Fantastic jump. Another big tumble here. Double straight, super landing. Oh, very good leap. She's had worked very hard on this work. Oh, well fought. Good expression throughout the routine. She's just got one big tumble to go. Full twisting front into the double tuck.
Oh!
Fantastic work. Wow, Abby, that was a great routine.
Abby Martin is having an absolute stormer at the World Championships. Loved it, and you can see she did too.
Well, I was just thinking there, watching the routine, we seem to have got a real good pedigree of creating good floor workers within Great Britain. I mean, this routine has everything. Big tumbles, great choreography. I think, yeah, it should be very happy with that indeed.
Karina Schonmeier scores an 11.9 for beam.
See the execution score down 6.5. They really deducted a lot.
Well, Dulcie Kaylor had a nightmare on bars. Let's hope she can redeem things here on beam. Such a young gymnast from the USA, just 17 years old.
Into the acrobatic series there, very firm, stable. Oh, and just a little adjustment, the full twist on the spin. A little bit tentative at the start. Just needs to gain that confidence, gather a little bit of momentum. Judges are looking for a good fluidity of the routine. Concentrate on the single spin now. Oh, and again, that's two gymnasts falling on that element.
Seeing its victims, isn't it, beam?
It is one of those pieces of apparatus, I think, certainly in the all-round competition, and until the gymnast has performed on this piece of apparatus, you can't call who's going to be up on the podium. And it's not like these gymnasts don't practice this piece of apparatus, probably more than any other. But, you know, 10 centimetres wide, it's such a difficult piece of apparatus to perform on. Come on, big dismount to finish. Double pike back, drifted a little bit.
Yeah, but certainly when you look at the way that these gymnasts are, you know, pushing what's possible, physically possible, and you think about the size of the beam. Abby Martin moves up into third as it stands with a score of 13.266.
Excellent work.
Well, next to go on floor is Ruby Evans. 4th on floor at the European Championships earlier this year. She's the Welsh floor champion and she's qualified with the 3rd highest score for the floor final.
Beautiful routine, this. Oh, full twisting front into 2.5 twist. Now there's a big backward tumble coming. Oh no, another big forward tumble. Just a little hop out, full twisting front into double front, double twisting front. Lovely leaps. Has to show a backward tumble as well. Here it comes, double straight. Wow, what impressive as a 3rd tumble. Now that was beautiful control. She creates such a mood with this routine. Super double tuck. What a performance, fantastic work from Ruby.
A dazzling display and brilliant for her to get another chance to perform on this floor. She's going to be in that floor final at the weekend. Really looking forward to seeing her there. That was super. Leah Font of Spain. 2nd of the 2 Spanish gymnasts in this top 24. For a difficult vault here.
Well, out of a total of 15, we'll see another Yurchenko double twist. Not bad alignment, a little bit scrappy in the legs. You can just, hopefully we can see here, just that crossing over. There you go. Look, just a bit soft. You see, crossing over there. 8.766 on the execution.
13.766 the total score, but then again you're thinking, do you go difficult and try and get it round, or do you go easier and execute
doing a double
it?
Twist.
Yeah.
At this level of competition.
11.9 for Dulcie Kayla. She's down in 11th after a fall on bars and a fall on beam. Sticking with beam then, John Jingying. She's the highest qualifier for the beam final. This will take your breath away. She scored 14.366 in qualification.
And she starts with a great series. 3 elements. The leap, the change leg leap onto the end as a mount is very difficult. Here's the big tumble, round off, straight back, meets the beam beautifully. And she gets her connections. You can see when she does the ring position, she gets the head right back and the foot right up. Oh, and that's a very difficult combination. A backflip across the beam. The fact that she's linking the elements adds towards her difficulty score. Three more leaps all in a row. She's got very good flexibility in the ankles. She can land and bend and then rebound. So this has been very impressive. Here we go. Big double pike dismount as well. Another super landing.
Well, we are just in awe of that. I mean, it was just incredible to watch. Never in doubt.
Well, you can see why she's the highest scorer on beam so far. And we have seen in the past the Chinese gymnasts not so confident on the apparatus, but they're absolutely on fire today.
Natalia Escalada of Mexico is sitting in 6th with 2 pieces to go.
Solid, confident start. Lovely high. Straddle Jaeger somersault. And a catch. That was almost fingertips, but straight down to the low bar. Coach was there, but not needed. And a Ginga between the bars. Oh, and she just missed a time in there. Ended up taking an extra swing. Oh, and then a little bit late. She's running out of gas. Come on. Full twist into a back to finish. What a shame, because that routine had quite a lot of difficulty.
It certainly did. But very much you can see that full pirouette. The second hand wasn't on until she was quite well past the vertical.
A 12.933 awarded.
Big difficulty, 5.7.
Third as it stands. Still a lot of scores to come in this round, and one more piece to go as well before we find out who will be crowned the women's all-round champion here at the World Championships. Well, Melnikova is still leading. Asia D'Amato has moved up into 2nd. Escalada could be in the mix as well after that.
Good power. Oh, and the Sukahara on the half turn on, and the full twist in the straight position off. Very nicely executed, this.
Kaija Tanskanen, 13.1. Moves her up into 5th. Behind Great Britain's Abby Martin, who's in 4th. Great Britain's Ruby Evans scores a 13.2 for floor.
Look, a 0.3 in penalties for hopping out. That would have been a massive 13.5.
Bring on the floor final, that's what I say. And a Bickel of Switzerland going for a 4.2 difficulty.
Oh, lovely height there. Full twist in the Yushchenko. Looked like it had room for another twist in there.
And a 13.066 for the 20-year-old, who qualified in 15th place for this final.
I thought that was a bit harsh on the execution. If you look at some of the other full twists that have been a little bit flat off the top, he certainly had a good foot on the rest.
John Ching-Ying scores is in, 14.833. She's gone into the lead ahead of Angelina Melnikova.
Massive difficulty score and an 8-1 on execution, wow.
She's ahead by 0.133. But Lian Wong was in 3rd place after the last piece. She's got her sights on that podium. Here she goes on floor. Bronze at the World Championships back in 21 on this piece.
Faultless in the triple spin there. Big opening, double twisting, double back. Expressive routine so far. Lovely combination there, floats across the floor. Change of tempo. tempo in the music. Oh, good height there and flexibility. Work out of the corner. Lovely high double pipe back. Absolute stunning routine from the American. Certainly keep her in the mix. That should score very well indeed.
Really well performed routine this, fulfilling all the requirements of the judges, dancing into and out of those corners. Look at the knees locked together at that double twisting, double back. Very, very well executed.
Well, she'll be finishing on vault. She's posted some consistent scores throughout this women's all-round. So, Kélia Nemo of Algeria now, looking to go into the lead. She needs 13.101 to be in that gold medal position with 1 to go.
Well, she's overcome her first hurdle, the mount. And the layouts, 2 layouts in a row, that was very nicely performed. Strong free walkover. Oh, she's committing herself well to the links. Important leap series here. And very cleanly round. She joined them beautifully. That gives her bonus marks. Strong on that free cartwheel. Now this is what came to grief in the qualification. Oh! My goodness me, she looked so secure.
Wow. She did fall and score 13.233 in qualification, so all is not lost.
Well, this has been a beautiful performance until then.
One thing's for sure, it's going to go down to the wire in the last piece of apparatus.
For sure. I'm impressed with this beamwork, though. She's really performing confidently, strongly and well. Needs a big focus for this dismount. 1 flip, 2 flips, up into the double pike. Well, other than that mistake, the routine was beautiful.
Well, what a fight back, and she knew she needed every 10th. 13.2 for Lian Wong. Stays in 3rd at the moment, but obviously Kélia Nemo's score has to come in. So here's how things look with 1 more piece left to go in this women's all-round final. Zhong Qingying scores 41.733. She's in the lead ahead of Kélia Nemo. Angelina Melnikova is in 3rd. Lian Wong currently in 4th. Asia D'Amato is in 5th, moved up. Abigail Martin in the top 10 in 9th. And Ruby Evans has also moved up. She's in 18th as it stands. But what a final piece we are going to see here. So what can Abby Martin do here? She's in 9th. This is her last piece of apparatus. Took a gold medal at the Paris World Cup on vault just a month ago. She's had such a brilliant all-around competition. Abby Martin for Great Britain, going for a difficult 5 vault.
Lots of power, lots of determination, lots of height, and a great vault. Abby, you have been a star today for sure.
Well, what a performance from Abby Martin, just 17 years old. What a rise she's seen on the senior stage and in great company here at the World Championships. Lea Font of Spain finishes on bars. Just 18 years old, 18th highest qualifier.
be sharp in the full turn. Just a little bit of leg separation there. Got to lock the feet together, and again a little bit on the backswing. Lovely height there, transferring from the low to the high bar. There's the release and catch, one of the requirements. Again, a little bit late with the half turn. Dismount to go. Kicks up into the double pipe back. Very stable, solid routine, lacking some of the difficulty we've seen from some of the previous performers, but a nice way to finish your competition.
Schoenmeier scores 11.9 for floor. Second at the moment, but there's a lot of gymnasts still left to go in this fourth and final rotation. And it's a story of what could have been for Dulcie Kayla. She's counting 2 falls. She steps up to floor to round off her all-around debut at the World Championships.
And she spins well. Ooh, but that was a little bit low, the double straight. Ooh, lovely full twisting whip into double tuck, untrunk, great tumble. Cleanly round the triple spin. Using the body well and the arms. Strong double pike, one of the best landings we've seen. Strong leap series. She's a supple gymnast. Well, that was a much, much better performance.
Yeah, best performance of the day for her. She's going to be in the floor final on Saturday. So if you like that routine, then hope you can join us Saturday morning for that.
I like that combination, full twist into 2 flicks.
That,
and then the punch out.
The full twisting whip is given a higher award. It's given than an ordinary full twist. An ordinary full twist is a B, but the full twisting whip is a C, so you can get bonus marks for doing it into the double tuck.
Well, it's an opportunity for the gymnasts to show their originality.
Great Britain's Ruby Evans on vault for her 4th and final piece.
Well, another good vault for Great Britain. Double twist in Yurchenko on floor and vault. Great Britain are absolutely storming. Look at the confidence approach in, wraps up, double twist. One
Massive
of the only
score.
gymnasts to get into the 9 on execution.
Look at that, 14.033. Launches Ruby well up the standings.
Beautiful direction. We saw her in the qualification competition do the 2.5, so she's got even more in the locker than that.
And Abby's score is in, 13.866. She's in the lead as it stands. Still, the top gymnasts in this all-round are yet to go, but that is a very good score. And what a final we've seen for Abby. Albert Petisco next at the end of the vault runway. She's counting a fall.
She's a precise gymnast. 1.5 twist, and she showed her precision there. Feet to the floor, nailed that landing.
That would have been a 0.1 if it was in the men's. I mean, there's not many that can nail the vault.
Best landing we've seen today, that's for sure. 13.5.
Still only that 8.9 on execution, so it just goes to prove how good a vault Ruby Evans performed previously. I mean, both the British girls have had a fantastic competition today, so consistent, both on 52. Great work.
Sikela finishes on a 13.433.
That was a good high score. I think that's the highest we've seen.
Behind Abby and Ruby of Great Britain. Here comes then the current leader, John Ching-Ying, 4th highest qualifier. Can she win China's first ever all-round gold?
Oh, impressive 1.5 turning split jump. Is the tumbling as impressive? Full twisting double back. Relatively simple second tumble. Beautiful change leg ring. Very stylish work here. Must be sure here, and she is. Super double. Moves swiftly into this tumble. Strong double pike. Well, plenty of artistry, but was there enough difficulty?
Well, she's going to need every single 10th because it's very, very close, this. Very close indeed between her, Kylie Nimmo, and Angelina Melnikova.
I think one of the things that we've talked about in the past is the level of difficulty that the Chinese gymnasts have on the floor. I mean, 4.4 as opposed to Nimmo and Melnikova on a 5, that's 6/10. That's a lot to gain on artistry, especially with these judges. I think it's just a step too far.
Well, somebody else who could well be in the mix is Lian Wong. She didn't have a great time in qualification, but look at the difficulty. It's 5.6. This is incredibly difficult.
It's a massive vault. Oh, and look at that. Well, has that just rocketed her onto the podium?
Yes.
Wow, out of 15.6.
Yes, it has.
Beth's
no
nodding
question.
ahead. Sam's not, he's nodding. Yeah.
Look at that, 14.466. She goes into the lead. That's definitely going to be the score to beat then. 54.966 is the benchmark.
That was a big, impressive vault from Lian Wong.
Kishirina now on vault. She was the 8th highest qualifier, 7th at the Olympics in the all-round final, 24.
Tiny little gymnast. Climbs up to the platform, super double twist though. One of the most solid landings we've seen. Big flip on. Holds that landing well, chest a little bit down, but it was strong.
And she's a gymnast that's been in the mix all the way around. Hasn't been without its troubles this all-round, but very exciting competition, Chris.
Yeah, very much so. It's sort of lurched from gymnast to gymnast.
So 12.9, or John Ching Ying puts her behind Lian Wong, so it won't be China's first ever gold in the all-round. Will it be Algeria's first ever medal in the women's all-round? For Kelia Nemor, she steps up to floor this, her final piece. Can she make history? She needs 13.268.
Well, she'll have to tumble her very, very best. And she does, 1.5 to triple. Good and strong on the double pike at the end of that combination. Well, that was a great spin on the floor. Full of expression, quite a different style, but that was a good leap. Definitely telling a story, very dramatic. Such an important tumble coming here. Big up, double tuck. Oh, and that little rebound might cost her. Lovely change leg full. Such a dramatic performance. She certainly gave it all there.
She knows, oh my goodness me, it's going to be so, so close. That little moment there on floor, the little moment she had on bars, how costly will they both be for her?
Well, I think the big factor around this is the fall from the beam, trying to scrape back another full mark, and we've been so close.
It hasn't been her final, let's be honest, has it?
No, but she has made huge strides as a gymnast. We saw her come at the first World Championships. Great bar worker, but everything else was very ordinary. And she's really improved beyond all recognition.
Well, somebody who's launched themselves onto the world stage is this gymnast here, Ludmila Roshina, neutral athlete.
Double twisting Yushchenko. This gymnast for me has got a great repertoire of skills. It's just that she's the unfinished product, but that's obvious at such a young age. Just 17, she's got the skills.
51.999 is her finished score after that 13.8 on vault. She'll sit in 6th for the moment, behind Abby Martin and Ruby Evans of Great Britain, who currently are in 4th and 5th place. Keisha Rena is in 3rd, 13.966 as it stands. Abby and Ruby still in 4th and 5th, respectively.
I'm just wondering if Nemor's got enough to... I don't think she might not go into 2nd place. It's 54.633. John Jingying.
Everybody's looking, everybody's waiting. There's 2 more gymnasts left to go on floor. Sugihara and Melnikova. But the judges are taking their time with Kelia Nemor's score. It's vital that they count every 10th. 12.866. It's 3rd at the moment. Oh, what a shame. She came in as a quiet favourite for the title.
She did, but you have to work really without major error, to be honest.
Sugihara Aiko, the penultimate gymnast in this women's all-round final, the 2nd highest qualifier. She scored a 13.366 in qualification.
Oh, very well negotiated on the spin there. Fabulous double straight, great extension in the body, dramatic as well. Walk out from the 1.5, high into the double back, using every inch of the floor. Very good on the spins and spatial awareness, this gymnast. Got to concentrate. Oh, and well done, the 2.5 twist into a straight front. Lovely double pike back, sky high, full of expression, drama. What a way to finish this competition. Great work.
Well, Sugihara was in 6th. Can she move herself up?
Well, she did everything in her power to do so. Great landings. This looked a bit, of a hang in the air, didn't it? But she got her feet down well. She really is very expressive. Right from the moment she came and vaulted and landed her vault, she's wowed us with this personality.
Izia D'Amato on bars for her 4th and final piece. 5th as of last piece of apparatus.
Oh, lovely first element. Toe on Kachev straight. Good, strong, full pirouette. She'd have liked to have gone straight into the shap. Had to take the extra upstart, but that's a super straddle Kachev. She just does the, was she meant to go the other way? Nope, it was planned that way. Swinging an invert swing there, full into the double front. Wow, she's lost nothing. We haven't seen her for such a long time.
Finish.
But she really has been impressive.
A great top 10 finish for her, that's for sure. 4th at the moment, 13.866 for the Italian.
Look at the difficulty as well, 6 on difficulty. So it proves you what a difficult routine that is.
What will Sugihara's score be and where will she be placed at the finish of this all-round? It's 13.666. She stays 6th as it stands.
I think the top floor score we've had.
So, the last competitor in this women's all-round final is Angelina Melnikova. She won the title back in 2021. She needs 13.366 to tie with the lead, 13.033 for second, or 11.032 for a bronze medal.
Really powers here. Full twisting, double straight, tiniest of hops. Wow, wonderful series of spins. Here we go, another big tumble, double straight. Another secure spin. such an elegant gymnast. Every single movement she makes is beautiful. This will be important, the front walk out into the double pike. The says on her face, absolutely delighted, lovely leaps. Well, what a joyous performance. Wonderful to see her here on this international stage.
Well, what an all-around performance. It's been 4 years since we've seen her. Has she just done enough to win back the title? 13.366 is a big ask.
But there were no major errors. She got most of her difficulty. There was just one spin that probably would be downgraded. No big errors on landing.
I just think one of them early on where she just shuffled on the line, so did both heels go out? It's hard to tell from this angle, but you're right, she's put in a performance. Can't do any more than that. Interesting that the current leader is the only gymnast to have a clean competition. Melnikova and Nemore fell from the beam. That's a full mark, so if they'd have stayed on, it would have been a different story.
Well, Lian Wong leads this competition on 54.966. John Qingying scored 54.633, and Kaylee Nemore is currently in third with 54.564. All eyes on the scoreboard. Who is the new women's all-around world champion? We are about to find out. Be a nervous wait for Lian Wong, that's for sure. She can't look.
Well, that vault really was the big difference, wasn't it? Absolutely phenomenal.
It was the huge difficulty.
Yeah, but the real difference is Lian Wong worked clean. She didn't give a mark away to the judges. And but I think Melnikova looks absolutely great. She looks so fit and strong and fast. When you think she's now 25 years old, she looks as good as she has ever looked to me.
Well, you know, we talked early on about a bit hit and miss. I think that time, female gymnasts are maturing a lot later now, longer time in the sport.
The champion is Angelina Melnikova again. She wins back the title she had in 2021. What a story. 25 years old, back with a bang. And Lian Wong takes silver again. She was silver too, Melnikova, back in 21. It's the same story.
Absolutely, and I did feel that was a floor worthy of the win.
Well, what a sterling performance with a fall. Absolutely incredible, but the new champion wins back her title. Angelina Melnikova takes gold. Lian Wong of the USA wins the silver medal, and John Qingying of China, she takes the bronze. What a final. It had the lot, it really did. What a final. It really was incredible. Poor Kaylee Nemore. She came as a quiet favourite. We all thought she could get herself on the podium, but it wasn't to be. But the composure when you have a fall and then still be able to become a champion, I mean, and to maintain that level of difficulty, Chris, and that execution, you know, and not be competing on the international stage for 4 years.
Oh, she's done fantastically, Melnikova, and I think, as I said earlier, that she looks better than ever. I mean, it would have been easy for her to walk away from the sport over these last 4 years, and she's obviously got a passion for it, and that has shone through today.
So there is confirmation of the winners of this year's women's all-around final. Angelina Melnikova, she takes the gold. Lian Wang wins the silver, and Zhong Qingying of China, she takes the bronze medal. Great Britain's Abby Martin, she finishes in 8th, and Great Britain's Ruby Evans finishes in 10th. So Great Britain have 2 gymnasts in the top 10 in the women's all-around final. What a story that is for British sport.
In 3rd place, Zhong Qingying of China, 54.633 for the bronze. The silver medal representing the United States of America, Lian Wang, 54.966. The only gymnast out of the top 3 to do a faultless competition, no falls. And rocketed onto the podium, the sensational vault to finish. Individual neutral athlete and the new world champion for the all-round competition, Angelina Melnikova, 55.066.
And what a performance and the competition these gymnasts have given us today. What a joyous performance Melnikova gave on the floor to clinch that title.
Well, just like the men's all-round competition yesterday, Christine, it did go down to the final performance.
Absolutely, it was tightly fought. The beam took a lot of prisoners this competition. Always when you're coming into competition a little bit rusty, having not competed for quite a while, it's difficult to master the beam. And so an anthem for a neutral athlete fills the arena. And the gold goes to Angelina Melnikova, the silver to Lian Wang, and the bronze to Zhong Qingying. Wonderful start to the Women's World Gymnastic Championships.
Well, a very different anthem to what Melnikova would be used to hearing, but there she is competing as a neutral athlete. She wins back the title that she won in 2021. Leanne Wong, she took the silver that year. It's literally the same story, Beth, but what a final. I mean, you called it that Leanne Wong could, you know, get back up on the podium halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, you watched her quietly go about her competition. I think me and Sam were discussing it. Sometimes being in that second group, actually, you're away from the pressure of it. All the eyes are on that first group and the pressures feels it within that group.
Yeah.
So actually, sometimes being in that second group, just quietly going about your competition. And also you can see the gymnasts are now starting to get used to the apparatus. We had a lot of falls on floor and vault during qualifications.
Yes.
Whereas actually floor and vault seemed a lot more steady today. So that definitely paid off for Leanne because in qualification she scored 11.7, whereas actually that vault today.
We love a final that goes right down to the wire though, don't we? Sam, I mean, it's so exciting to watch. That's when gymnastics is at its best. And everybody, I mean, how aware do you think they would have been of the tense that they would have needed?
I think they're very aware in those situations, and those two athletes at the top, like we said, had previously been first and second at a World Championships. So they're experienced enough to know how close it's going to be. Their job is then to just focus on their own performance, and for it to come down to 1/10, we spoke a little bit about that extra tenth in difficulty that Melnikova had on floor that proved to be the difference in the end. It was very, very exciting, and a bit like the men's competition yesterday, everybody raised their game, so the top three scores there that finished on the podium were higher than the highest qualification score. So that's great to see that everybody's improving throughout the competition.
And incredible composure from Melnikova after what happened on beam. We've got a chance to look back at the moment because she started incredibly fast, Beth.
Yeah, it was such a dynamic, powerful beam routine. We've seen in the past her have issues with this apparatus, and she did during qualification, and you got to give it to her. She really fought for it.
Yeah, triple fight there. Yeah.
But what she didn't let happen was it then take over the whole routine. She got back up, and then to go back onto the floor, and it was a beautiful routine. Had a mixture of the artistry, which obviously the judges are really looking for now, but she also had the big, powerful tumbles. Sam spoke about that 1/10 extra in the difficulty, but actually she got a 10th deducted because she stepped out on the first tumble, so she needed that extra 10th. But I really enjoyed this floor routine.
Did you ever think we'd see her again on the international stage?
I mean, obviously, you could see that she was still training. You could see that she was competing at home. So once there was the change in rules about they could apply to be a neutral athlete, and you heard that she was coming back in, it was great to see, because she has been such a big part of the senior rankings since kind of 2016. We first saw her in the Rio Olympics, and then kind of made a mark as a medalist moving into Tokyo Games. And yeah, it's been quiet for her, obviously, and it's nice to see her back.
Well, Leanne Wong, according to her coach, had a rough qualification, but she qualified in 9th. But this was the game-changing moment, Sam.
Yeah, it really was, and it was a great vault, Matt. I think all of us in the commentary box stood up because it was a massive moment, and the vault, she really hit it just perfectly, so you can see the block. She goes so high in the air, it gives her so much time on the landing, and she lands right in the middle. And that Cheng vault for the women is 6/10 higher than all of the other vaults that were performed today in terms of difficulty, so that gave her that great advantage. And like Beth said, finishing up on vault, I would much rather do one vault than have to land 4 tumbles. There's so much pressure there, so I think that was that really played into her hands at the end.
Yeah, and to know that she could potentially score 3 more marks than what she did in qualification, stepping up there, so hungry. You know, there's a real fight there, isn't it, from Team USA to try and get back to where everybody expects them to be. A pressure almost from the
There's
world.
huge pressure. I mean, it's not very often you don't have an American gymnast on the podium. Simone Biles has been there for so long. We have had other world champions, but there is an expectation that Team USA take home a women's all-around medal, and today she stepped up.
Yeah, you could see the disappointment in her face. You know, you should be obviously grateful to get a silver medal at the World All-Arounds, but she was in tears because she didn't get that gold.
Yeah, and I think she performed so well, and obviously Melnikova's had that mistake.
Yeah,
she will feel, I'm sure, a little bit somewhat hard done by, especially when it's just the tiniest of margins in that 0.1. But she did so well, like we said. you know, it is that advantage of being in that second group because no one's paying you attention, but all eyes are on that first group. It's really hard to climb up from that second group at times, so credit to her for doing that and putting those performances out.
I think it was a very small margin last time as well, so you kind of sat there thinking 4 years ago I think it was 3/10 and then today it was a tenth. So yeah, it's always that bittersweet of you're pleased but you're disappointed.
Yeah, well, John Qingying, she won China a bronze medal in the all-round. Phenomenal on beam. Beam had its victims, didn't it? I mean, gosh, Melnikova was one of them, as was you know, Kalia Nemo.
Yeah, this is such an unbelievable floor beam routine to pick up a 14.8 during a women's all-around. We say Nemo has that advantage on bars, but she absolutely has that advantage on beam, and that's what kind of pushed her up the rankings going into that final rotation. But so calm, so composed, and quite a lot of variety within the routine. That flick going sideways, I definitely wouldn't want to be learning that.
No. Well, you mentioned Kalia Nemo there. She finished fourth. She was a quiet favourite for this. But Beth, as a bars world champion, can you just talk us through this routine? Because it looked incredible, but it was the connections where she lost it on the difficulty. She was half a mark down on qualification.
So she lost one connection, but you can see the whole way through the routine. That was a beautiful start, but then here she didn't feel that she had the right swing to be able to go straight into the connection. Then she had a handstand that was slightly short to go into the low bar connection. It then all just felt a little bit not like her, not what we normally see, but what we used to call this was a training routine. She's a world champion for a reason, because she can fight all the way through. So to the untrained eye, you probably wouldn't notice those small errors, but for her, she will have felt it the whole way through that routine. It was just, I've got to get to the end.
Yeah, and Abby Martin, I mean, you teed her up at the start. We saw a lovely little film of her. What a career she's had, and what a performance, Sam. You know, we're at the World Championships here. She's 17 years old, and she had a storming competition.
She did amazing, Matt. I think to have finished in 8th position, both of the girls from Great Britain have improved their scores on nearly all of the apparatus. And she spoke a little bit about having a few mental blocks on bars. There was no evidence of that today in this performance.
Yeah.
She looked so confident, and I think that was the thing for me. Both of the GB girls, their performances were so professional, and for, you know, a gymnast of 17, incredible really to have that composure under pressure. And I think they both rose to the occasion. That's what I really noticed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Ruby Evans was incredibly impressive to work her way back from the sort of the latter part of the standings all the way up into the top 10 as well.
Again, because these two perform vault last, we've both got very strong vaults. They've both got the double twist, and very good double twists at that.
Yes.
You can see here Abby has also got superb power on floor, and it bodes well for both of them going into the floor final on Saturday. Saturday.
Yeah.
And just giving them the confidence, getting back out on that floor, being able to feel the bounce again. And they clearly love performing it. You can see the joy in Abby's face, and this is going to do her confidence so much. She's obviously had a bit of a tough kind of year post-Olympics. She finished the Olympics, and you feel that you want to kind of move forward, and then to find out you've got to have kind of surgery and work your way back up. So actually, this is great for her.
Yeah, so like looking at the Olympic cycle, when the time that's left, like what's she going to be doing? What's she going to be working on? Is she going to try and get up to that 55 if she's at 53?
There's elements of her gymnastics that she can improve the kind of execution value. I mean, on vault, you can improve it, but then it goes risk versus reward. We've seen Ruby training the 2.5 for a long time, but doesn't always use it, because actually you've got to be bang on the day to get it.
High 13s is good enough.
Yeah,
you know, 14
so
potentially
take that
on a good
14.
day. Yeah.
Bars, I'm really impressed. She has really upped her game on that. And then beam, I think there's a lot that the British girls can work on, kind of just on the execution. They've got some of the difficulty there. It's just building that execution.
Shall we have a look at Ruby's vault? We've got a few seconds, so why not? Let's have a look at some more British performance. So yeah, Ruby again going for a very difficult 5 vault.
Yeah, so using the double twist, and that's where it really helps R2. Like, over the past cycle, we've not seen as many double twists, but as soon as you're starting to put a very good double twist in, you're scoring a 14 or a high 13. Whereas if you go to that 1.5 twist, it's a good 13.5 unless you nail it like the Japanese did today.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the way she performed that, Sam, was, you know, it's very, very classy gymnast, Ruby, I find.
It really was, Matt. I was very impressed with her vault there at the end, one of the best scores on that double twist, but also her floor routine. That's very exciting for Saturday. A very unique routine. I saw her do tumbles that I don't think I can remember seeing another women's artistic gymnast do before, so that is going to be really good to watch on Saturday. And again, a bit like Luke Whitehouse at the Europeans, he had the chance to do the all-around final, do a floor routine, and then use that to his advantage for the apparatus finals that came on a Saturday.
So we have 2 all-around champions decided now. Huge congratulations to Hashimoto Daiki and Angelina Melnikova. But there are 10 more medals to hand out in Indonesia as the apparatus finals start tomorrow. We're going to be back with you on BBC 2 at 7:30 a.m. Yes, a.m. as Jake Jarman goes into the men's floor final, having topped qualification. Real medal chances here for him, and 3 times European champion Luke Whitehouse in that one too. Alex Yolshin-Cash goes on the pommel horse at 9:45 on his World Championship debut. Good luck to him. And we're going to see Olympic bronze medalist Harry Hepworth in the rings final at hopefully around 11:15. Elsewhere, the World Track Cycling Championships continues in Chile. Live coverage over on BBC iPlayer from 6:15 tonight. So, Jake Jarman, what can we say about Jake and also Luke Whitehouse? I think Jake's going to do it. I'm keeping it. What do you think,
pressure.
Sam? What do you think, Sam?
It's going to be a great final, Matt.
Yeah.
We've got the reigning Olympic bronze medalist on floor, the reigning European champion. With it being 8 gymnasts in the final, that gives us a 2 out of 8 chance of winning at least a medal.
Yeah.
I'd expect Luke to really raise his game. He's not really put a foot wrong this year. He's won 3 out of 3 gold medals.
Yeah.
British Championships, European Championships, World Student Games, which was against the best in the world. But Jake has that difficulty.
And the thing is, well, for
advantage.
Luke, I mean, he was umming and ahhing whether or not he was actually going to make that final. So he's going to be incredibly hungry, Beth. Now he's got that chance and that opportunity to really go for it.
Yeah, and I think following on from the Olympics last year, he was disappointed. He had a great routine. There was just that small bit in the middle. So, yeah, he'll be looking forward to kind of getting back out there and showing people what he can do.
So basically what we're saying, it's going to be GB 1 and 2, yeah?
There we are.
Well, look, there's every chance, Matt. There's every chance.
Well, thank you both for your company this afternoon. Now, go and get an early night, everybody, as you'll want to be back here bright and early tomorrow morning, 7:30 sharp, as Jake and Luke go for gold. We'll hopefully see you then. Good night.
Great Britain's Jake Jarman. Come on, Luke Whitehouse. The whole of Yorkshire is cheering for you here.
Look at that, he's like a spinning top.
A triple back.
He's got outrageous talent.
He's so powerful and dynamic. Certainly got to be a medal. I'm absolutely tingling with goosebumps.